Welcome to the Gospel Road, and we're going to look at Colossians 4. It says, Masters, treat your bondservants justly and fairly, knowing that you also have a master in heaven. Continue steadfastly in prayer, because being watchful in it with thanksgiving. At the same time, pray also for us, that God may open to us a door for the word, to declare the mystery of Christ, on account of which I am in prison, that I may make it clear, which is how I ought to speak. Walk in wisdom towards outsiders, making the best use of the time. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Tatius will let you all will tell you all about my activities. I can't read all of a sudden, can I? He is the beloved brother and faithful minister and fellow servant in the Lord. I have sent him to you for this very purpose, that you may know how we are, that he may encourage your hearts. And with him, Onesimus, our faithful and beloved brother, who is one of you. They will tell you everything that has taken place here. Aristarchus, may my fellow prisoner greet you, and Mark, the cousin of Barnabas, concerning whom you have received instructions. If he comes to you, welcome him. And Jesus, who is called Justus. These are the only men of the circumcision among my fellow workers for the kingdom of God, that they have been a comfort to me. Epaphras, who is one of you, a servant of Christ Jesus, greets you, always struggling on your behalf in his prayers, that you may stand mature and fully assured in all the will of God. For I bear him witness that he has worked hard for you and for those in Laodicea and in Hierapolis. Luke, the beloved physician, greets you, as does Demas. Give my greetings to the brothers at Laodicea and to Nympha and the church in her house. And when this letter has been read among you, have it also read in the church of the Laodiceans, and see that you also read the letter from Laodicea, and say to Archippus, see that you fulfill the ministry that you have received in the Lord. I, Paul, write this greeting with my own hand. Remember my chains. Grace be with you. Colossians 4. And those big names. Oh yeah, I failed on that. Pretty big, didn't I? Oh my goodness. So many things in here. So many things I could talk about. And probably things that nobody wants to talk about, because that's usually how it all goes. Don't discuss the elephant in the room. We don't want to know about that. So walk in wisdom toward outsiders, making the best use of the time. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Be treating each other with kindness, encouraging and inspiring one another. Be there for one another, treating each other justly, right? It says it right in the beginning, treat justly and fairly. The masters, the bonds, company owners, employees, however you want to put that in there. But that's how we need to be treating each other, is just and fair, having conversations, not trying to argue with one another. And again, we're not always going to agree on everything. We're going to be thinking of things in different ways. Again, that's because we have our own individual mind. We have our own individual personality, though many think that we all are the same and we all should be treated the exact same. And that is not at all how it should be. Again, knowing how to talk to one another, knowing how to answer each person. And if you're around someone long enough, you should know how to be able to treat them, because you know their little idiosyncrasies of how they act, how they react, what they think, what they do. I mean, a lot of times people, it's, are you paying attention is really what it comes down to. It's really that observance that you have. We hear it a lot. You have two ears, one mouth, talk less, listen more. That way you kind of know what's happening around you. You know the surroundings that are happening. But then a lot of times our mouth just runs because that's what we do. And then we get in trouble. I mean, I know I do. It happens more often than not, more than we ever want to care to admit, right? But the main thing is making sure that we are really being true with one another, treating each other with respect, treating each other the same. I mean, we all are. We're all human beings. We are all trying to do the same thing. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. We're all trying to pay our bills. We're trying to get through life. We're trying to be successful. And it's us trying to help each other do the best that we can, to be the best that we can, not holding each other back and not kicking each other when we're down, which happens more often than not. In fact, you watch on the news right now, you watch on TV. I mean, that's all we're going to hear for the next 75 days, couple months, whatever it is, until the elections happen, of how can we badmouth and bash the person that we're running against because they are the worst, terrible person in the world and yada, yada, yada. They're both the Antichrist, right? Not looking forward to it. I know I'm probably said that. I just get sick and tired of the minutia, the garbage. As they say, garbage in, garbage out. A lot of garbage out there, a lot of information, a lot of words, a lot of empty words, a lot of things that they say. And you go, did you really think that through? Does this even make sense? I did take basic math in school, and I kind of remember a lot of those. I kind of remember the economics class in high school. But sometimes you wonder if others really, if they paid attention or if they just totally forgot about it. I really have no idea. This is the frustration of the world that we deal with right now. And it drives me absolutely bonkers. It drives me crazy. And I try to do my best to separate myself from it. Doesn't always work, because then you have everyone else running their mouths out there whenever you're at a event or something, because someone has to share their opinion, and their opinion's right. No one else's is. You can't actually have a conversation because no one's listening. Again, I'm probably not going to agree with you, but I don't care. That's fine. We do not agree. But you know what? We could still talk. We could still be nice to one another, still be friends, right? Not all. Not everyone thinks that way. They want people that are their exact way, the way they are, which then really keeps you in a very small circle of not really learning or understanding. Again, remember, we need to be bettering ourselves every day, learning something new every day. It's like me sharing my word of the days that I do every day on social media, which is always fun watching those to see how bad the closed captioning is. Did it really understand? Is that what I said? No, I don't think so. But that it's a good chuckle and a laugh every day. But that's what we need to do. Again, it's being there and really helping out one another, being there to help them be the best that they can be. Again, walk in wisdom towards outsiders, making the best use of the time, not just for your time, but for their time. Don't be wasting someone's time. Don't be wasting your time. Don't be wasting their time, because we all have things that we need to do. And there might be a conversation they need to have, but you don't need to share with that. Maybe you just need to listen with that conversation. And maybe they have an idea and you can help them with idea and really help blossom and bloom that and grow it and make it be a very strong success story. It's kind of what I really deal with, even more so now than I ever have before, on a regular basis, talking with businesses and right now people that are actually looking for work because they lost work. So I'm trying to keep an ear out there when there's something that can really help them, some sort of tool that can help them do better, be better with their resume, which I was just having a conversation this morning, and that's turned into a complete cluster. I mean, I remember when I was first getting in, I'm not young, but you'd make your resume, you'd make copies of it and just hand it out. Well, now you got to take that resume. You've got to look at the job description that you're going to be applying for. And now you have to tailor your resume to match the job description because it's going into some sort of computer bot, something that, some sort of AI that, which was what we're pretty much using now. Bot would be the early version of that, but it was searching for keywords rather than creating things. But yeah, so you have to have the right word for that keyword search. So that way your resume actually gets picked out as it's going through. Otherwise, it might not even make it through the initial phase because people are not looking at them anymore, not for the most part. And the reality is, this is where you need to make sure that you do have people around you. You have your connections there, getting to know people, because it really can help by knowing someone if you're trying to find a job. Networking. And I'm not sure that it's any different than what it was 50 years ago. It's just a different way of now, a different way that we have to do it. And we've got to figure out what that is to put that together to help each other out. So I'm trying to do that with a lot of people that I know now that have kind of lost where they are and trying to figure out what that next step is and where they're going to go. Yeah. Is it easy? Absolutely not. And I wish it was. Wish it seemed to be easier than what it is, but no, it's only going to get more complicated, I think, because that's the way it is. I mean, as I say, technology is great when it works. But then at the same time, technology, which is supposed to make things easier, does not always make things easier. It can actually complicate things as well. Colossians 4, that's what we looked at today. So how can you read that and see things in there to help you be the best that you can be, to really help you be that better person as we're growing every day, making those steps every single day? Colossians 4. Be sure to check that out. If you enjoyed this, you can always share it on social media. Appreciate that. And as well as giving a rating on the platform that you're listening. Appreciate that as well. And you can find me pretty much anywhere out there, my buddy Jimmy, on pretty much any social media outlet out there, as well as mybuddyjimmy.com. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you do have a wonderful week. I hope things are going well for you. And just try and keep your head up. Look for the positive. I don't always. I don't know. My brain is full of minutia some days, and I never know where it's going. But be the best that you can. Do the best that you can. All right? Be the best for those that are around you, to help them, to really encourage them, inspire, motivate, lift them up, help them to get to that next level. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.